Hi, it's Lynn from Lynn. Ah, I have such troubles with shoulders. I've got narrow shoulders and my bra straps seem to always show out of every shirt I ever wear. Um, I'm coming to you today with my week 8 and 2 month Surgiversary. Um, it, I had a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass on October 17th, 2017 at Merit Health River Oaks Hospital, and my surgeon was Dr. David Carroll. At the beginning of my journey, at my highest weight, I was 331 pounds, and I have it here on my phone. You know, I've always got to have my phone so I can remember. At any rate, I did start at 331 pounds. That was my highest weight that I know of. My surgery weight was 279 pounds. Last week I came at you at 257 pounds, and my BMI at that point in time was 47, and it represented a drop of 14 points from my highest BMI, which was 61. My current weight is 252.4 for a total loss of 4.6 pounds this week, 26.6 pounds from surgery, and 78.6 pounds from my highest weight. And my BMI this week dropped 1 to 46. So very exciting to see those drops. I'm very happy, very pleased with my loss this week. I am still expecting the dreaded stall. I've been 8 weeks without one. I've had some weeks where I only lost like a little over a pound, but that's not a stall. It's just not as much as I wanted to lose. Um, it's exciting, dropping weight so consistently. And I'm hoping I can keep this up for a while longer. I dread that stall because I know, even though I know up here that it's going to happen, that my emotions are going to be really wonky over it. So, kind of expecting that. I did not start out by taking my measurements or taking pictures, and right now being able to take pictures doesn't help me very much because I have no clue how to edit anything. But at any rate, I did start taking measurements on November 1st, and then I took them again on Thursday. So I'm going to get my measurements out. Okay, on the 1st of November, on the 1st of November, my bust was 48 inches. It is now 46.5 inches for a total loss of 1.5 inches. Under my bust, I was 41.5 inches. I am now 39.25 inches for a loss of 2.25 inches. My waist was 45 inches. It is now 41 3/4 inch for a total loss of 3.25 inches. My hips were 57 inches, and they're now 54.5 inches for a loss of 2.5 inches. My left thigh was 31.5 inches, and it's now 29 inches, so that's a loss of 2.5 inches. My right thigh on the 1st of November was 32 inches. It is now 29.5 inches for a loss of 2.5 inches. My neck was 15.25 inches, and it is now 15 inches for a loss of 1/4 inch. I did not take any other measurements before. I don't take my arm measurements because I really kind of need somebody else to do that, and I live by myself, so I don't take those measurements. And I did measure this time I did add my calves to the measurements, but of course I didn't do it last time, so I have no comparison to what they were the last time I measured, but I will have that the next time I do measure. So a little bit more information. Altogether, with just those measurements, I've lost 14 3/4 inches altogether. That's a lot of inches, folks, and I really didn't think it would be that much in this short a space of time. So I'm really pleased with that. Um, Now I need to get my list of things I want to talk about. Um, I just had Last week was a really disturbing week. Starting back before I had my surgery, and I knew that I would no longer be able to take NSAIDs because of the surgery. I talked to my family care physician and asked if I could. I was taking diclofenac, and it was just, a medication to take each day to help control the pain of my arthritis. And so I'd been taking that for a long time, and it is an NSAID, so of course I can't take it any longer. So I did talk to my family care physician about switching me to tramadol, and he did, and he wrote a prescription, and it was just like 50 milligrams of tramadol. And tramadol is considered to be a narcotic. It's a synthetic narcotic. Um, but it is a class 4 drug, which is as low as you can go without being a narcotic. Something like hydrocodone that we probably came home with from the hospital, or the high set, um, is a class 2 drug. And I imagine things like Dilaudid and morphine are class 1 drugs, so that if that gives you any kind of reference. Um, at any rate, when I did ask for the prescription for tramadol, I asked him about the addictive qualities and stuff like that. And I'd had it before, but I didn't take it for a real long time. And he said, don't worry about it. He would make sure that didn't happen. And I was kind of like, really? How are you going to do that? Well, he wrote the prescription for every 6 hours, which equals 4 a day. And I really very seldom took 4 a day. I usually took 3 a day. And I basically was using it like the diclofenac, just as kind of something to control the pain so I could continue to exercise, and not stop exercising because of the pain. So he gave me one refill. The prescription was written for 2 weeks, and so that prescription actually lasted me for 6 weeks. Well, when I ran out of that, I asked for another prescription, and he gave me another one without a refill. Well, then the third time when that one was through, I asked him for a refill, and he only wrote it for like a week and like 2 extra doses the next day. And so I messaged him and asked him why. And he said, well, you're not supposed to be taking this except for when you really need it, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, and I messaged him back and said, what am I supposed to do? I hurt every day. And if I hurt like that every day, I'm not going to exercise. And I really need to be exercising, now that I've had this bypass. It was longer than that and more involved. Well, he then wrote, messaged me back that he had checked the Mississippi prescribing program, and believe me, people track how much you fill every prescription that you have. Who knew? I didn't, but I do now. But at any rate, he said I had refilled 180 pills since my surgery. And I was like, I hadn't taken, I came home on Hyset, which is liquid Lortab. And I took that up to my 5th day post-op, and I haven't had any since then. And I couldn't figure out where he was getting that information. So I went to my pharmacy, and the pharmacist checked, and she said he looked at it wrong. It was 180 milliliters, which would be the size of that bottle of liquid Lortab. And so I messaged him back, and I told him I was upset, and that if he was that concerned, he should have called me and asked me what's going on. I have been his patient probably for at least 15 years, if not longer. Probably since the late 90s. And we've sung in the choir. He knows me. You know, and it's not that I don't trust him or that I'll stop going to him, because he's a good doctor and he does care, but I just don't know why he wasn't more upfront with me. And it really put me in a tailspin. I was like, he's up there thinking I'm a drug addict. Or actually down there, he's south of me. At any rate, it really, really got me really, really upset, to say the very least. But at any rate, he's now written a prescription and told me not to take more than 3, even though he wrote it for 4. I mean, why write it for 4? Take 3 a day, whatever. And some days I don't take that 3rd dose in the middle of the day because I don't need it. But I don't know. I'm still upset, and we will probably. I have an appointment with him on the 26th of this month, on my birthday. Who wants to go to the doctor on their birthday? But at any rate, I'm going to the doctor on my birthday. But I'm sure we will have a further conversation about it. Just so aggravated. I do have an appointment for an injection in my sacroiliac joint for the 21st, which is this coming Thursday. And I'm hoping it will be more effective than the first one was. The first one didn't do me a bit of good. When I talked to the nurse practitioner who sees the doctor anymore, you pay enough to see the doctor, but you're actually seeing the nurse practitioner. I haven't seen the doctor since he gave me the shot, which was in August. And the time before this appointment, we hemmed and hawed, and I think I gave you an update on that, and it's in one of my videos, a couple of videos back. So I won't go back into that. But at any rate, when I had the appointment, she did say something about, well, if this one was as ineffective as the first one was, then they'll probably do something about deadening the nerves. So if I understood her right, that's called a because I've done a lot of research, a radio frequency ablation, and they deaden nerves with sound waves. And I'm all for it. I'd rather have a numb butt than a hurting butt myself, just personally. So we'll see what happens with that Thursday. I've had 2 Christmas things, and I've done very well with them. The first one was that the choir that I sing in at church had to get together this past Wednesday at a place called Jose's. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's local, but it's a very good Mexican restaurant. Love eating there. Of course, I haven't since the surgery. And I was like, had no clue what to order because their servings are humongous, and how much can I eat? So I did go talk to one of the managers and said, I need to get a child's portion. Is that okay? And they did. And so I got a child's enchilada, which was smaller than a regular enchilada. And then instead of getting the rice and the beans, I told them just to give me 2 helpings of the beans. And it turned out to be a lot of beans. Good gracious. But I ended up eating about half of that and took the other half home and had it for supper the next night. So who does that? The when I asked for the take home container, the waiter kind of looked at me like, "You need to take food home from a child's portion? Really?" I was like, "Yeah." He didn't ask. I could hear the wheels turning. But so I made 2 meals out of a child's portion. I mean, like, really, I could understand his thoughts. Who does that, you know? Um, and then on Friday, everybody brought food. And so, of course, it's kind of hard because a lot of it was like casseroles with a lot of pasta and, and enough sweets to sink 2 or 3 Titanics, really. But now I did. I went and I got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs and made mushroom chicken with those. And that's what I brought was mushroom chicken. So to the school thing, and I had one thigh which I didn't eat but half of. It was just too much. I can't eat the whole. I can't eat a whole thigh yet. Um, and then I had just like a little round disc of sausage, and I had one little meatball that was about, oh gosh, just teeny tiny. Um, and then somebody had bought a casserole, but it had no pasta. It was like hamburger and some veggies and some corn. And so I had just a little spoonful of that, and that's all I ate, and I was happy. I sat in there and ate with everybody and enjoyed what I had and didn't really feel deprived at all. So I was pleased with that. Which is not to say that there are not some fat brain things taking over. I am finding myself cleaning the dish when I'm cleaning up my mess. Last night, I had one of those 100-calorie popcorn packs, which I'm not even supposed to eat popcorn, according to my instructions. I mean, I didn't have any adverse effects, but it was a 100-calorie pack, and I was full after I ate about half of that. And do you know, I just kept on eating it, and I ate the whole thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so uncomfortable. And just why? Why did I do that? I don't understand. I need to journal about it, I guess. Um, it's just hard sometimes to control your eating. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize how long this video was getting. The last thing I've got to talk about, and then I'm done, and you can quit listening to me if you haven't already quit listening. Um, I've been having some foot problems. I've got a hammer toe on my right, my pointer toe. I mean, it's hammered up so bad it doesn't even touch the floor anymore. And it rubs on the top of my shoes and kind of rubs a blister on the top of my toe. To top that off, I've got what's called a Morton's neuroma, which is a growth on a nerve, and it's made half my toes numb, and it hurts. And it really doesn't hurt so much as it feels like you are walking. You are walking on a rock. I mean, it's very, very uncomfortable, particularly if you're barefoot. But it's gotten so even when I'm wearing shoes, I feel like I'm walking on a rock. So I went this past week. It's probably been a little over a week since I went to see the podiatrist. And he was amazed because I hadn't seen him in a year and I'd been doing fine. And he gave me this thing to wear to pull that toe down and hopefully get it to stay down a little bit. Thing is, then it made my big toe hurt, and I've got midfoot arthritis. And my midfoot arthritis, it hasn't really bothered me very much at all since the last shot he gave me. It's now hurting. So, although it's not so bad anymore, now, I just quit wearing the strap. And I guess when I go back to see him in January, I'll just have to say it just did not work out. And I'll end up having to have surgery on my little old hammer toe. Whoopee whoopee. I like that. I really wanted some more surgery. Oh, golly. But at any rate, that is life with me. I hope all of you are doing really, really well. I just hope that you all have a very blessed Christmas, and I'll be here to talk to you again. Hopefully a little quicker than I was this week, but I just decided it would just be easier to do my 2 month and my 8 week at the same time. Um, and at any rate, that's all I have to say. Love you all. Just be very, very blessed. Bye. Oh, I forgot to say it. I forget to say it just about every time. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell so you get notification and hit that good old thumbs up so that people will find me on the internet and subscribe. I just love the fact that people are still subscribing to my channel, even despite the fact that they've heard me talk. Um, I mean, if I had to listen to me babble, I would probably unsubscribe. But please don't. Love y'all. Bye.